Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for being here. My name is Anne, and we're going to talk about the importance of not paying too much attention to what others think about us or say about us. And you don't want to miss it. Today, we're going to talk about a man named Zedekiah. Now, Zedekiah was a king of Israel when the king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, made war against Israel. And what Nebuchadnezzar did was camp out around the city of Jerusalem. And so poor Zedekiah was locked in, unable to leave. And so after a while, Zedekiah became super frustrated and he went and called the prophet Jeremiah. He said, Jeremiah, what should I do? Please go to the Lord and find out what I should do. And so Jeremiah did just that. And Jeremiah said, Zedekiah, the Lord would have you submit yourself to the king of Babylon. And don't try to run away. Don't try to leave. And if you do that, then you're going to be safe. Your family is going to be okay. And this city is not going to burn. And after Zedekiah listened, he said, well, Jeremiah, if I do this, then the Jews are going to mock me. And of course, I get it. I get it. I understand perfectly where Zedekiah is coming from. After all, he was the king, and a king is supposed to be strong, protecting his people, not submitting to a foreign enemy. Well, Jeremiah said, well, if you do this, Zedekiah, then you're going to die. You're not going to make it out alive. And your family, they're going to die too. And this city that you're trying to protect and save, well, it's going to burn. And so Zedekiah, I guess he didn't think about it because then he made another decision that was not very good. One night, Zedekiah tried to run away through the back gate of the city, but he did not get far because the king of Babylon, his army, caught up to him and they caught him. And oh, the worst happened. They killed his sons right in front of him. I can't imagine. And then they plucked his eyes out. And the very thing that he was running away from, they took him to Babylon into captivity, and the city of Jerusalem was burnt. And this story is very sad. It is sad for so many reasons. But Zedekiah did the right thing. He did the first right thing. He went to God. And when he went to God, God gave him an honest answer. But he just did not like that answer. It wasn't God's will for Zedekiah to die like that. Absolutely not. God takes no pleasure in our pain and suffering. But when we are preoccupied by what others think about us, what society think about us, then sometimes listening to God and following his advice, because he's an everlasting God. He knows the end and the beginning. So when he tells us to do this or do that, it's for a reason. It's for a good reason. And we don't know the future. I don't know the future. Nobody knows the future. We can plan for the future, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. So when God is guiding us and telling us to wait and telling us to stop and telling us to go, it is because he knows the future. And because he's a father, he wants what is best for all his children. What is God asking you today? Is he saying, walk away from your job? And you're saying, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? How's my family going to survive? They're going to think I'm lazy, I'm crazy. But when God tells us something, it is for a good reason. God might be saying, sell your house, move to the other side of town. And to be honest, the other side of town might not be the nicest part of town. But we're humans and we're limited and we can see the end and we can see the beginning. We're very limited and we have to trust in the good will of God. You know, my mother, when she was younger, she joined this church. And when she joined this church, a lot of people had a lot to say about her and about her family for that matter. And she kept on and she went on and she went on. And she did not let it bother her. And as a child, I would hear things and I would see things. And today, she's one of the strongest Christians I know. And the same people that would criticize and say this and say that, she's been a source of light in their lives. And you know, I don't think I would have been a Christian if it wasn't for her. What I'm saying is that God might not be telling you to do something specifically right now. But maybe you're somewhere and it's hard, it looks hard. But deep in your heart, you know, this is where God wants me to be. And even though life is not perfect, even though I might not be that comfortable, this is where God has placed me. And because of that, I am going to stick it out. I am not going to allow what others say to dictate my actions. I am going to listen to the voice of God. I am going to follow his leading. You know, a lady told me, she said she had a daughter that used to work at the trade center. And one day, the day of 9/11, she woke up and she just had this feeling that something was wrong and that she should call her daughter and tell her daughter not to go to work. And so she did just that. I mean, she didn't have a reason for telling her daughter not to go to work, but she did it anyway. And her daughter listened and did not show up to work. And as a result, her daughter's still alive today because we know the story. We know that story. By just following the direction of God, trusting in his goodwill, even though we're not seeing the end, if we trust in his goodwill, we will never be disappointed. We have a Father that loves us with an everlasting love. And I truly believe that we could trust him, that I could trust him. And I pray every day, that he teaches me to trust him, to trust his goodwill. Because if I could do that, then I'll know that I'm secure. I'm secure wherever I am, no matter what is happening around me or what others is saying. Until next time, have a good one.